I am Katharina Michio, and you are watching NY Mania.
I'm Kayla Welsh, and you're watching NY Yankee Mania.
Hi, my name is Maria Venuto, and you are watching New York Yankee Mania.
I'm Marnie Schneider. I'm the author of Football Freddy, and I am so excited to be part of the New York Yankee Mania show.
Hey, everybody, it's Ian Eagle. You are watching NY Yankee Mania, the best.
Hey, y'all. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome back. And my name is Sean Browning, one of the hosts of History of the New York Yankees here on NY Yankee Mania. And we got my other co-host and brother, Charles. How you doing today?
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for showing up to the history of the Yankees. Thank you very much.
Yes. And as we mentioned before, for this episode, we're going to cover the 1953 to 1965 Yankees. But we're also going to throw a caveat with Joe when he comes on here in a little bit. We're going to cover about the Yankees Red Sox arch rivalry and the history of it through the years. So, are you guys ready to buckle up? And
I'm ready.
yeah. All right. So in 1953, the Yankees had already won 4 World Series straight from 1949 and were in quest for the 5-peat. And we actually had a pretty good roster with
Yeah,
Casey Stengel was our manager.
Yeah, that period they dominated baseball from '53 to 1964. So 5 consecutive World Series from '49 to '53, and they appeared in 9 World Series during that period. And they had players like legends like Whitey Ford, Mickey Mal, Yogi Berra, and it defied the era of baseball. In that era, they defied the era.
Yeah.
Those legendary teams.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
Casey Stengel was the manager of the year in 1951, and that was the Stengel period, the Stengel dynasty.
right. And when Stengel took over in 1949, yeah, he took them to 5 straight World Series titles, and it has never been close to being repeated as of yet. And the closest any team has ever gotten to matching the 5 World Series titles consecutive are the teams that have won 3 World Series, 3-peats, which were the last one done was the New York Yankees from 1998 to 2000, and we came within and out short of winning 4 consecutive. But in 1953, we had, like you said, Whitey Ford. We had other guys on our pitching rotation that were actually pretty dominant, but it was spread out. And then, like you said, Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle, Hank Bauer, and a whole lot of them. Yeah,
Billy Martin, Billy Martin, he was a great little player back then.
Yep. And then in 1954, we don't make it back to the World Series, but we still had a pretty good team. We got beat out in the pennant by the Cleveland Indians, which that was a good era of a Cleveland team with Larry Doby and some others.
Larry Doby, 111 win team. Oh, I mean 114. Sorry, I made a mistake. 114.
Yeah, the Yankees won 103 games. But we came in second place to the 114 win Cleveland Indians, which would end up losing the World Series to the Milwaukee Braves.
Yeah, and the Milwaukee Braves that team was great in that era too. They had a lot of great players too now.
Yeah, and then we had obviously they were headlined by a very famous Henry Aaron, Hank Aaron, among others, Dusty Baker, and a few other Willie McCovey. or not Willie McCovey, but you had a few other guys on that Braves team
Eddie,
that was a stout team.
yeah, Eddie Matthews, Eddie Matthews.
Eddie Matthews, yep. But then in 1955, the Yankees make it back to the World Series, but we run into another rival called the Brooklyn Dodgers with Jackie Robinson, who baseball just honored with the Jackie Robinson Day, and he steals home in one of the games,
And
and
they're still arguing about it up in heaven because Yogi says he's out.
yes. So, but that World Series went to 7 games, and the Dodgers edged us out. One of the few times, and when they actually beat us out during this period in the World Series. At this point, the Yankees dominated the Dodgers in World Series play, but they beat us out in 7. And then in 1956, we had the Yankees and the Dodgers meet again in the World Series. But do you know what happened in Game 6 of the 1956 World Series?
Perfect game.
Yeah. Don Larson, who got shelled in Game 2 of the 1956 World Series,
Oh, sorry.
he comes back, finds a ball in his cleats, which is the way Casey Stengel would let them know which pitcher was starting a game. Was on the day of the game, they would find the ball in their cleats in their locker. And then he pitched a perfect game, striking out the last hitter. And that's like the image that survives of the game. And actually, believe it or not, there was a legend that was calling that game for that inning. And it was the longtime voice of the Dodgers, Vin Scully. Because back then you had guys like Mel Allen and Red Barber and Ben Scully. They would, for the World Series, they would split innings. So one would cover 3 innings, another one would cover 3 innings, and then another would cover the last 3 innings.
Yeah, and then after that, from 1950, during that period, 1955 to 58, they continued their winning ways and appearing in 4 World Series, and then winning 2 more in 56 and 58.
Yes.
And like you said, Don Larson's perfect game in 56.
Right. And then we also got to talk about Mr. Mickey Mantle, who in 1956 won the batting triple crown in that year, the second Yankee ever to do it. And the only other one was Lou Gehrig in 1934. But Mickey Mantle had 52 homers, 363 batting average, and 130 RBIs. Doesn't that sound familiar to some guy on our team right now?
Yep.
Yeah. I think he plays right field. He's about 6'7". He wears number 99. Yeah, the guy they say washed up, but he still clubbers the ball. Yeah, Aaron Judge. Hopefully we can get him a ring this year. But also in all these years, you know who played us the toughest throughout these years? The Boston Red Sox.
Oh yeah, that rivalry really took off from 1973 to 78 when Thurman Munson and Carlton Fisk got into a brawl. That's when it's been a rivalry since 1903 when they were the Boston Americans and we were the Highlanders, but 73 to 78, that's when it really took off after that brawl with Carlton Fisk and Thurman Munson because they didn't like each other.
Yeah, and I want to say hi to Jason. He's in the chat. Shout
I
out
think
to
they
you, Jason.
they respected each other, but they did not like each other. Carl Fisk said he respected Thurman Munson, but they didn't like each other.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the way it is. I mean, can you imagine? Well, in the 1930s, you had, 1920s. After obviously Babe Ruth, we acquire him from the Red Sox. That's when the rivalry began. Really take
Right.
to take off.
Yes.
But then you had Jamie Foxx versus Babe Ruth, and then Jamie Foxx versus Lou Gehrig, and they played each other. We played both teams hard then. Even in the 40s, you had where players, even service members, would argue over who's a better hitter, Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio.
Right. Who's the better outfielder? Yeah, it's been
Who
that
was the
way
better
forever.
outfielder? Yankees and Red Sox, they would always play each other close. Like every time I looked at their the splits during these seasons, it was like 11-10 or vice versa, or whatever the case was, or we were splitting season series. It's just when we play each other hard between the Yankees and Red Sox, the fan bases get all in it. And then even like in the 90s, you know how we watched you know, Derek Jeter versus Big Papi, Jorge versus Pedro, Posada versus Pedro, and A Rod versus Baratek, and everybody's duking it out. And that's when baseball's at its greatest, when the Yankees and Red Sox are both pretty good teams and they're playing each other hard.
Well, back in
Um,
the 70s, you had players like Dwight Evans, Jim Rice. You had a lot of good players on that team, man. They used to play
oh
us
yeah,
hard, man. Carlton
yeah,
Fisk. In the
Miss
60s, they had
Pesky,
Rico Petrocelli.
yeah,
You
and
know,
then you had Pesky and Yastrzemski. But even then, you look at this in the 1960s, right? The late 1950s and 1960s, the guys battling us out were we had the White Sox, we had the the Indians, and we had the Red Sox who wouldn't go away. And then you remember that it was against the Red Sox that in 1961 the Roger Maris hit his 61st home run to pass Babe Ruth on a single season home run record. And the last day of the game of the season in 1961 against the Red Sox, Roger Maris hits a home run to right field. And in that 1961 team, one of our best teams as the Yankees history was, we had what? We had six guys with 20 plus home runs. I mean, we had Maris with 61. You had Mantle with 56. You had Elston Howard, 20 plus. You had Yogi Berra had over 20. I might be forgetting someone else.
combined, Maris and Mantle hit like 115 home runs between the both of them. That's
Yeah,
nuts. Yeah. And
yeah,
Maris had power, but Mantle had superpower, man. He had arms like Popeye, man. Like,
right.
oh, like that. Yeah.
Well, and
He
then
was
also
great.
Elston Howard was a great ball player that we had. I mean, a guy that came in as a left fielder in 1956 and 1955, his rookie season, and then he converts to catcher and plays outfield.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
get
with
enough credit. He was a great ball
nah,
player, that's for sure.
and with him and Yogi,
A lot of people overlook him.
yeah. And like I said, and in the same season, they both had over 20 home runs.
Exactly. It's one of the greatest rivalries ever. The Red Sox and the Yankees. It kind of lost a little luster, for a little while, and now it's
Yeah,
it's kind of coming back a little bit more now with all these other new players now. But it's not so. I think when it started in the early '70s, that's when they really didn't like each other. It kind of
yeah,
went that way with Pedro and them, and then it kind of went away. Now it's like, yeah, okay, it's not as bad as it used to be, because they haven't had no really fights, like they used to. But Yankee fans are always not going to like the Red Sox, if you're a Yankee
no,
fan.
no, and Jason made a good point. I think he said that in his opinion, Yankees and Red Sox is the best rivalry in sports, and
Yeah,
I, I gotta agree with him. I mean, where else are you gonna get two fan bases that will fight each other out? Two team where every player just steps up. It doesn't matter whether it's a role player or a big player. I mean, Bucky Dent had a great moment. Had his careers marked by it was against the Red Sox.
Yeah, Bucky bleeping Dent.
Yeah. And we had guys. I mean, even Derek Jeter. Remember in they said somebody about the Red Sox when he was going to retire, and someone wanted to do Bob Shepard's voice at Fenway Park to announce him. And
Yeah,
he said, "That's the last place I want to hear Bob Shepard announce my name."
right.
And you know,
Now
but yeah, I
batting
mean,
number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2.
yeah, yes, that's perfect. Nice job, Charles.
Thanks.
Um, I really miss it because I remember the one time I went to Yankee Stadium and hearing Bob Shepard announce players. Oh man,
It's the voice.
he
That was
gave
the
me
voice.
chills.
That was the voice of God, man. And he say,
Yeah.
and he
Well,
always used to
no.
say, "Welcome to Yankee Stadium, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen." Yep, I remember hearing
Yeah.
him. I was going there with Dad in the late '70s and hearing his voice. So like, man, I just heard the voice of God. And smelling the
Right.
grass. I mean, you go there. The first time I went there with my dad, it's like smelling the grass. Oh my God, it was like it was like heaven, man. The game got
Yeah.
rained out because they were playing the White Sox, and I remember I was disappointed. But then we went back to the last game they played in '73 against the Tigers before they redid Yankee Stadium, and we ran on the field. That was so cool, man. My dad was young back then,
Yeah.
so he could do it. I'm like, let's go on the field. And everybody was on the field. And then they had a big picture in the Daily News with the people on the field. And my mom was going, I'm trying to look in the paper to see if I see you. I said, good luck.
Yeah. I mean,
People were walking out with rows of seats, unbolting the seats off the floor, and then walking out with those big blue seats that they had there, and nameplates, box seat numbers, all kinds of stuff. My dad took a
oh,
piece of a tarp and some grass. I'm like, my mother always used to say, "What are you gonna do with that? I gotta grow some turf."
yeah.
That
And,
was
and
funny.
like I said, I mean, in the 50s, you had Bob Shepard, a young Bob Shepard, was the PA announcer in the early 50s for the Yankees. And he would hold that job up until his death in 2010. And you know what? I don't think there will ever be anyone like Bob Shepard. And then,
It's just like it's just like when I grew up was I remember hearing Mel Allen and Red Barber a little bit, but in mine it was Frank Messer, Bill White, and Phil Rizzuto. That's the ones I grew up on. But I remember
yeah.
hearing Mel Allen. Holy, how about that? And
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Barber.
And,
That was those were the because you can listen to them. I used to remember listening to them on the radio a lot in the summertime when I was playing or something or playing baseball and listening to them on the radio. And that I remember listening to them games and they were so good on the radio. You Huckleberry, but Phil Rizzuto called people Huckleberry. You Huckleberry.
yeah. And, whenever Joe's ready to come on in, he can come on.
Hey, it's
Um,
the thing that when 2004. And we should have beat them guys again, but we lost it. We were leading 3-0, and then we blew it. That was not good. But they got their revenge on us. That's for sure.
hey, Joe.
It's a big, great rivalry. You can't. There's no other rivalry like it.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Great start to the show. How are you? How are you guys feeling?
Oh, I'm
Good.
feeling great. Yeah, we're just talking about, how everything around it. I mean, you got Bob Shepard. What's your favorite memory of Bob Shepard? And then also your favorite
Well,
memory of Yankees Red Sox?
If you would have listened to the interview with Chef Nick, I'm just kidding. My greatest memory is when he sat one-on-one with me and he played some unbelievable tunes for me when I had my radio show at nighttime in New York City on WHBI FM. He played dun 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 dun, and he was doing that also. Believe it or not, he did a little bit of what Eddie Layton would be doing, and then he would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Yankee Mania on WHBI FM." Oh man, when he did that, I gotta find it. I got it in so many cassette tapes, and I will find it. I'm gonna play it for the fans one day. I'm gonna surprise. So that was great. Shepard was unbelievable, and Charles, you hit it on the nose. Welcome to Yankee Stadium. I mean, number 2, Derek Jeter, number 2. I mean,
Yeah.
and the best one I loved, and playing shortstop for the Yankees, I think it was 18, 18, Alvaro Espinoza. I love the way when he said that name. That was awesome. That was
Or
the guy.
or you
The
know when
guy,
he
the
down.
guy. Yeah, the guy was amazing. He was totally amazing.
Well, I mean, hearing the clip of him announcing, the recording of him announcing Yogi Berra. Not only but when after the feud between Yogi and George,
Mhm.
and when he came back in the field, and then you hear Bob Shepard going, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, can I direct your attention to the bullpen out on left?"
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
nothing
then
like it. Yankee aura is just, and not because we cover the Yankees and we're Yankee fans, but it's just an amazing tour of Yankee land. You guys hit it on the nose with this show. It's a great show, and this only spices it up just a little bit. This
Yep.
Yankee rivalry starting here with the play-by-play tomorrow night on NY Yankee Mania. With myself and more surprises. You never know, but we are looking forward to it. And guys, being the fact that you're a history show, I want to bring you guys. I know that you have to cover the '60s and whatever and the early '70s, but I'm going to bring you a little perspective of the rivalry in the mid '70s when the Yankees were really relevant again. So what I can tell you is it was always. What are the two teams going to do? Yankees sign a free agent. The Red Sox sign a free agent. The Yankees sign a free agent. The Red Sox are. So the Red Sox would counter with a great bullpen guy like a Bill Campbell, and the Yankees would counter with Goose Gossage, and the Yankees would go get a hitter like Reggie Jackson, and the Red Sox already had people like Jim Rice and Dwight Evans and Fred Lynn and the list goes on and on. So I mean, it was just it was really amazing. Butch Hobson, George Scott, and there's
Charles,
nothing better than the '78 Yankee Red Sox when the Yankees were trailing 14 and a half games on July 22nd, and that was just an amazing comeback. First of all, the Yankees had all kinds of injuries. Catfish Hunter was on the shelf. Willie Randolph. The list went on. Greg Nettles. They had a team out there that you probably wouldn't even recognize at the time, obviously. And then all of a sudden, and the Red Sox were winning every day. They would pull out these games down 3-0 in the ninth inning. Boom! They just come up with 4 runs and they win the game. It was ridiculous. It was Jerry Remy would get a hit all the time. Rick Burleson and of course Fred Lynn and the rest of the cast of characters. They just went on and on and on. And I got to tell you guys, it was crazy exciting, absolutely crazy. And then of course there was the Yankees pulled within 4 games. The week of September 18th, 4 games at Fenway Park, and that's what they call today the Boston Massacre. Do you realize, guys, the first game, Mickey Rivers, who of course was the Yankee leadoff hitter for most of his career, he came up. Fred Lynn Mario is a nice guy. You're right. Anyway, but Mickey Rivers came up three times before the ninth batter for the Red Sox came up in the third inning. So you can imagine. I mean, the Yanks were getting base hits to the hitting the green monster, home runs, ground base hits, stolen bases, base hits, error, you name it. So you can imagine if the Yankees batted around three times before the Red Sox had their number 9 hitter come up on that Thursday, then the Friday night was almost no different. The Yankees pounded them. They couldn't do anything wrong. The Saturday game was a pitcher's duel, but Ron Guidry came through it with flying colors, and they won like 4-0. They did what they could, as much as they needed to do to win. And then the Sunday game, which was the closest out of them all, the Yankees did a couple of clutch homers, and that did it. So when the Yankees left, Fenway Park, they were completely tied after being down July 21st, 14 and a half games out. The very next night, the Yankees were off, and the Red Sox played the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Red Sox won that game. So again, the Yankees were half a game out. Then the Yanks went on another. I think they won 4 out of 5. They went up 2.5 games with like 3 games to go. And lo and behold, the Red Sox win a couple of games, the Yankees lose, and it comes down to a Sunday. And the Yankees played the Indians at Yankee Stadium. All the Yankees had to do was win that game, and there was a Yankee killer on the mound that I swear all he had to do was put his glove on the mound and the Yankees would lose. And that was a pitcher by the name of Rick Waits. He would go on the mound. There's no way they just like, it was ridiculous. Anyway, the Yankees ended up losing 7-2. I know I see it like it was yesterday. And we're talking 1978 here, and I'm a little young Yankee fan. But I remember it. I could see it. I could see Yankee Stadium. The camera on WPIX was on the screen all the time. Red Sox were winning. Red Sox were tied. Red Sox were winning, and then it all posted. I'll never forget. 4:55 in the afternoon, New York time. It said 1-game playoff tomorrow. At Fenway Park, and that was unbelievable. I can't tell you. New York radio, talk radio, that's all they talked about. It didn't matter what show you had. It could have been Stock Exchange. It was all Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox. That game started at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I remember it so vividly, sitting on my kitchen floor, pacing. I'm just like nervous as all hell, and it was Ron Guidry against Mike Torres. Mind you, Mike Torres pitched for the Yankees the year before, so they started out. Yankees couldn't hit him for nothing, and Guidry gave up a home run in the second inning to Carl Yastrzemski. And most of you may know he was a superstar player, but he was getting on in age at that point in 1970s. He only played like another year or so after that.
Not to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, he started a 3-generation baseball family. Mike,
yes.
His son, played great, yes. And then his grandson's still playing pretty good.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, you're right. So they take a 1-0 lead. He Yastrzemski hit a home run around the pesky pole. Now you never know if it was a home run or not. So it's 1-0, and then they go up 2-0 as Jerry Remy gets a RBI single to center field, and that made it 2-0. and Mike Torres was just gunning them down, gunning them down, gunning them down. I was starting to lose all hope. But then the unexpected happened. So the Yankees get, and mind you, every inning the Yankees had first and second, but of course in Yankee fashion, they can't get the runner home. So anyway, we go to the seventh inning, and the Yankees have first and second, and Bucky Dent comes up, and man, oh man, I could see every pitch. And the first pitch was a strike, then a ball, then a foul off, then a ball. And then he fouled a pitch off of his leg. And he goes, boom, down on the floor. The bat boy comes out, and out of nowhere, Mickey Rivers comes out, hands the bat boy, give him this bat, because this bat's going to be a home run bat. And like Bucky just went, like you could see it was like, oh, thanks a lot, and so Bucky stands in, and then he hits the ball deep to left field. Yastrzemski cannot get it. It's a home run. The Yankees lead 3-2. That was the call from Bill White. And look at that Yankee bench. And you see people like Jay Johnstone and the rest of the Yankee crew going absolutely ape bananas on the bench. So the Yankees took a 3-2 lead, but I knew that wasn't safe. They come up. Thurman Munson missed the clutch, hits a base hit, make it 4-2. Reggie Jackson hits a monster home run, and he makes it like 5-2. Anyway, they were up 5-2. Going into the ninth inning, and you figure everything is looking good. Goose Gossage coming in and striking everybody out. All of a sudden, in the bottom of the ninth inning, the Red Sox just get a hit after hit after hit. Jerry Remy again, Rick Burleson, Jim Rice, Fred Lynn, and it was 5-4 now with first and second. And Gossage, he's already thrown like it got to be over 35 pitches at least, and throwing gas. At that time, they don't tell you how hard, but he had to be throwing at least 98, 99, easy. But they never bothered with that in those days. And now they finally get it out. There was a base hit to Lou Piniella. He lost it in the sun, but from the grace of God, the ball bounced high. He had no idea where it was. He sticks up his glove just like this. The ball goes right in it. What are the odds that will happen again? He had no idea. He went like this. I don't know where it is. While he did that, the ball hits his glove. So Burleson had to take a 360 and stay at second base. Otherwise, he would have been to third, and then who knows? And the next guy strikes out, and then Yastrzemski comes up, and he hits a pop up right near George Steinbrenner's box with Al Rosen, the general manager, and Nettles makes the catch, and the Yankees win. It was probably the most exciting game I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen doozy. I've seen the Yankees down 9-0 and come back. But that one was the most exciting, and obviously the Yankees beat the Royals and then beat the Dodgers. But that alone, and then it was Bucky Bleaking Dent. So that's all you kept hearing for many, 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 many years. And that was probably the greatest game I ever saw.
That was another rivalry back in the 70s was the Royals, because they couldn't beat us for nothing until 1980 when Gossage gave up the home run to George Brett.
I was right in the stands.
And I remember Freddie Potok crying in the dugout. I remember that going on. 77. They couldn't beat us, man. He said, I'll never forget that, him crying in the dugout. I was like, oh my God, man. There was some good.
The crazy thing though, guys, Yankees couldn't beat the Royals to save their lives during the season. Yankee players, Paul Blair and Reggie Jackson, collided in the outfield. On a
Yeah,
Sunday afternoon when the Yankees were up like 4-1, they ended up losing again. They never
yeah.
beat the Royals. But
Hmm.
October Lights came up and everything changed.
I mean,
Right.
they had some good teams too. Darryl Porter, Amos Oz, Frank White, Freddie Potter, George Brett, John Mayberry. They
Yep.
had some good pitching. Paul Splitoff, Dennis
Al
Leonard,
Cowan.
Larry Gore. Larry Gore. They had on there. They had some good pitchers, man. It
Well,
was
Well, the
good. They
Yankees
was a
gave
good
up
rivalry.
Larry Gura for Fran Healy.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was a backup to backup catcher who became a pretty good announcer when the
yeah,
Yankees were on a channel called Sports Channel. And then he went over to the Mets, and then we never heard from him again. Never heard
yeah.
Right.
from Frank Healy again.
Well,
But
But
there was
giving
another.
up.
that's some of the story. Now you also know there were fights. Lou Piniella and Carlton Fisk back in 1977. Oh, actually 76. I'm sorry about that. 76. These two teams generally do not like each other. I
No,
mean,
that never like.
Carlton Fisk
I
came
mean,
out and said, "I do not like the Yankees."
yeah, him and
Well,
Thurman Munson, they didn't like each other either. They
Right.
yeah.
couldn't stand each other. Huh.
I
And what
remember
about
that.
the game? What about the game in Boston where Reggie was lackadaisical in right field, and then Billy Martin took him out, and they were almost fighting in the dugout, and they had to come. Yogi Berra had to come between them and see.
And
It's just,
and
Oh,
uh, and you
that
know
was
who the other
Elston
guy
Howard.
was?
yeah,
Who?
Elston Howard, right?
Well, there was one
Yeah,
other guy in there that is a great trivia question. I had it much earlier in our streams, but that was Jimmy Wynn. Jimmy Wynn,
oh
the
yeah,
ex All-Star for the Astros, was with the Yankees for about 3 weeks. He had a home run,
right.
one single, but he struck out a whole ton of times, and they released him. But yeah, that was, and I'll never forget when Paul Blair went out to the outfield, and Reggie goes, "Me? You're coming in for me?" He says, "I don't know. Go ask him." And that was on NBC. Very embarrassing time for the New York Yankees, but it turned out to
Yeah,
be a classic.
I think
Yes, the
Reggie
Bronx
called him. I
too.
think Reggie called him a drunk when he got in the dugout. You're drunk.
Yeah, something. Yeah, but
Something
yeah,
to that
like I
effect.
said, the Bronx Zoo is always going to be the Bronx Zoo, but it was a lot of fun covering the team. I was young, but it was just amazing. I mean, just to walk on that field in the late '70s. I mean, I'm in my teens. I'm in my young teens, and I'm walking around, and I'm actually, I'm at home plate. I'm sitting on the bench where Babe Ruth was, and Joe DiMaggio, and my idol Bobby Mercer and all of that, and it was just still, I mean, I get goosebumps every time I step into Yankee Stadium, no matter what it is, no matter
Yeah.
but the rivalry with the Red Sox, I must have seen in my lifetime live. I must have seen at least 50. I would say 50 Yankee Red Sox games at Yankee Stadium, at least.
Well,
And Yankees have a pretty good record. The comebacks were unbelievable. There are a couple of times the Yankees got their buns, really they really got
oh
cracked
yeah.
up. But there were
No.
times that the Yankees made unbelievable comebacks,
Oh
and
yeah.
there was
No. And
nothing like. I'm sorry, Sean.
what?
Go ahead.
No. There's one game that to me stands above a lot of other games. I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive during the '70s and seeing that rivalry there, but to me, watching the late '90s, early 2000s, but it's 2004 in July. Remember the first weekend, the weekend of the July 4th,
Yeah,
the 14 inning melee between the Yankees and Red Sox. Remember the Red Sox got up to a 4 nothing, and then we came back with hits by Jeter, Posada, a few others. And then it was like a just play after play. I mean, you had Jeter diving in the stands and Bobby Mercer on the call, and even Ken Singleton was like amazed by it. You know, when he
Well,
comes
how
back
about the
up
ground
running.
ball? What about the ground ball to A-Rod at third base and he came home?
Yep. Right.
Yeah,
Yes, that's the other one too. And that was a remarkable play too. And then even the Red Sox, we had a couple times where we threatened late in the
yes.
innings to break the tie, and they made incredible plays. I mean, Veritek with that sweet tag at home
Yeah.
plate. Um, and then but then you know who wins the game and walks it off in the 14th
Oh yeah,
inning?
I know. I'm seeing it right now. I'm seeing the
Yeah.
double.
All right.
I
Okay,
know
I'm
who it
gonna
is.
key
I'm not
you
going to
up, but
spoil it.
I want you to do that last play. Carl, I'm gonna key you up. So bottom of the 14th inning, the Yankees got runners on, and Joe Torre makes a bench call. He picks in John Flaherty to come in off the bench for a
Yep.
pinch hit, and Joe take it away.
No, and he stands up at the plate, and the pitch is line to left field, and the Yankees are going to win the game. Holy mackerel! The Yankees are going to win the game. Here he
Yeah,
comes. The Yankees win the game. I'll never
yeah,
forget that. And guys, I was actually working overnight that night. I did not. I wasn't in the stands for that, but I was listening to it. It was crazy, and everybody now. Most of you know, I ran a building for like 24 years in the city. I was running the building I think it was, 36 floors and a health club, and everybody knew I was listening to the game, even though they always had a soft spot for me that I could actually watch the games. But in that time, we still didn't have that you can watch the Yankees on the way we do now, MLB TV. So it had to be a radio. And let me tell you, man, it was nip and tuck, and the people would be coming in from work or wherever, and they would go, "Uh-oh, the Yankees aren't doing too good. Oh, Joe's happy they win. Something's good." But so I had like the whole lobby going, "Let's go Yankees," and it was like
yeah,
it's just my Yankee remembrance is just out of sight, guys. It's out of
yeah.
sight.
But also
When you,
during that game, they cued in the Red Sox bullpen, on Yes Network, right?
yep,
And Um, you see Ortiz. He's got 2 cups. I think at this time he's probably out of the game. A couple others, but he had the Gatorade cups, one on one ear and one on the other ear.
yeah.
Him and Belichick
Well,
are
that
having
was
fun.
that was the game that they thought they won. That this is the game that Aaron Boone homered. Now you're talking about the Aaron Boone when
No,
David
that
Ortiz called his relatives and he said, "We're going to the World Series."
no, that yeah, that no, that was that was in 2003. But in
Right.
2004, during that 14 inning inning, he did the same thing. He's on the railing of the dugout, and him and Belichick are having fun. And Ken Singleton goes, "Man, these boys are sure, they're having fun now." And uh, Bobby Mercer's like, "Yeah, no, hey, they've been. I mean, this is like I said, we're trading shot for shot against the team, playing competitively, and then you can just see that they're having fun, in the
Yeah,
dugout."
no question, and that game was just amazing. I mean, when it was so funny. I mean, Posada hits that base hit, and Hideki Matsui just jumping up like crazy, and that was worth $1 million right there, and then they won that game, and Mariano was
Yeah,
exhausted. He
but yeah,
gave everything he can, and all they could do really is hit a ground ball to second, a pop up to second. There really wasn't anything the Red Sox can do,
no,
and the
and
Red Sox pitchers were doing. We had a lot of trouble against Mike Timlin, people like
Timlin,
that. Oh my God,
may he rest in peace.
yeah,
Papelbon,
yep,
um, and then
yep,
but also remember Pedro. They let him in the 8th inning, and
yeah.
Matsui gets a double off him, and everybody's going, "Why didn't Tito take him out of the game? Why why did he leave him in the game? Why did he leave him?" And And then we started that rally off with Hideki Matsui, the double, and then Posada gets him in, and then that what 12, 13, and, in the extra innings when Boone comes up to the plate and he hits that home run
Oh
to
yeah,
left field.
definitely.
And Brett Boone was being the color commentator on Fox for that game.
That's right. Yep. And Aaron Boone was just that was a signature moment. But we like to see him in a World Series winning moment, and hopefully that might,
As a
can
manager.
come this year.
Yeah.
But we got to take first things first, and that's tomorrow. But I do want to mention to you guys a little something. Your show, APQJ, how's it going? I want to mention to you that we don't always have to have this show while the Yankees aren't playing, guys. This is a great lead-in show to the Yankees coverage. So you guys should think about going on about an hour or an hour and a half earlier, the same night that the Yankees are going to, especially play a big game if they're playing the Red Sox, the Mets, the Dodgers. What better way, in my opinion, and I've heard from a couple of fans. You guys really should put together instead of a night where people are just like relaxing. There's no Yankees. You want to be able to come on and whet the people's appetite to the game that's coming on. So I would rah the show for you guys to come on maybe an hour earlier than the Yankee broadcast and come on here, and that'll be a great lead-in to our Yankee coverage. So Yankees play-by-play. So I would love it. I don't want to step into what you guys do. It's just a suggestion, and I think the fans would absolutely embrace it. I really do. So think about it,
Let's
guys.
hear it.
Yeah.
No, I was saying, I want to hear about it from those in the chat and those listening in on the email. Email Joe. Let him know what you guys think, and whatever you guys come up with, whatever the consensus is, we'll work with it. Right, Charles?
Yes. Whatever they
Oh
want to
yeah,
do.
no question. And there it is. JoeYankees28@gmail.com. JoeYankees28@gmail.com. If you would like to have this show right before a Yankee broadcast, or even after a Yankee broadcast, you guys are all here. It's all about the Yankees, and we never take a day off. So one way or the other, I really think that instead of a regular pregame show, a Yankee history leading into who they're playing, and there could be, like, if they're playing the Mets, a little history of the Yankees playing the Mets, and obviously it's the 2000 World Series. It's all the games that they played against each other. So it's just something I'd like for you guys to roll around. But again, ultimately, it's whatever you guys want. I am just bringing it out, and I want the fans to shine in, and that's a great idea. We do have some words from Chef Nick. What's up, everyone? Stopping and showing some love. Good to see everyone. You are my souls, Chef Baby. Hit the like button and subscribe-y. Then we have PQJ. Welcome aboard, my boy. Pedro Martinez throwing Don Zimmer to the ground was a disgrace. Yes.
It was, but I'll tell you this: Don Zimmer showed ultimate class in the post-game interview, but he took full accountability for charging after Pedro. But no, Pedro should have done a better job of apologizing to him. I mean, he did, but it wasn't handled like the
Properly.
right way it should have. Yeah,
Well,
properly.
you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Yankees are Pedro's daddy.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, but the thing
They'll always
is,
be
Don Zimmer was.
Pedro's daddy, man.
Yeah. Well, Don Zimmer at the time was 72 years old, and and
Yeah, I
culturally,
remember that game.
he should have been shown a little more respect. But I understand in the heat of the moment, and Pedro has even said he wishes he could have done that better. When people bring it up,
Well, it's a
but
heat of the moment, and you're not thinking, and and that's why these things happen. So, I mean, but I do think, you got to be responsible for your actions. There's no question in my
oh yeah,
mind. You have to be responsible.
but
And I
you
really, really appreciate a lot of people coming up to the stream tonight. And guys, like I said, please let us know. Would you like to see the history show come on before Yankee games, the day that they play, to whet your appetite for the Yankees? Or would you also like it to be after the Yankee game? Let us know. You're not forced to do it right now. Just go to joeyankees28 at gmail.com. joeyankees28 at gmail.com. Let's give some love to these guys because they do a lot of research. They know a lot about the Yankee rich history. And I just wanted to come up and give you an idea how crazy this rivalry is. And if we can get a
oh yeah,
couple of guests, which Nitin and his team brought a Red Sox reporter on the other day and explained a few things, we will bring that to you. And if we could bring some former Yankee players on, we will. And that's my story. And guys, like I said, you do a tremendous job. And if you got your, as we get to an hour on the program and things going on, so you guys want to continue or have your final thoughts, whatever you like, go right ahead.
well, how you feeling, Charles?
I'm okay right now.
Yeah, but I mean, we can start kind of wrapping it up. But yeah, it's a lot of things. I mean, you look at it. I mean, the '70s and things, but even in the '40s and '50s, it was intense between DiMaggio and Williams, and obviously, Boston went from owning us before we got Babe Ruth to us owning them to and then we just been battling it out since the '50s. But baseball, when Yankees and Red Sox rivalry is at its best, at its peak, intense, the games are close and there are brawls and all that stuff. There's baseball's at its best. And I mean, it's because it's the greatest rivalry between. It's an arch rivalry. It's not just, oh yeah, there are rivals. It's there are arch rivals. We have to beat them. We have to play hard against them, and that's what I love. I mean, you see how the way they go out and scouting against our teams, like in the last couple of years when they exposed Jose Trevino when they stole 9 bases on him.
Yep.
Running wild, which was a franchise record, and yeah, it's but you know what? We've done it too. I mean, I remember when Tyler Austin and Joe Kelly went at it after Joe Kelly threw it up and in on him
Yes.
and then hit him.
So many instances, so many
Yeah, and
to
then
talk about. Hey guys, I
Austin,
do have two emails. One from Bob Rizzo and the other one from Kevin. Please do the show before the Yankees play there, especially when they have a big game. That's just my opinion. So 2-0 right now to do it before Yankee games. They would appreciate it. They are avid viewers of our show on the internet. They don't come up live because they can't. It's either the work or the kids or whatever. But that's what they're telling me right now. So thank you very much, Bob and Kevin. And I'm sure we're going to hear from people like Teresa and Ava very, very soon. So that's where we stand right now, guys. 2-0. Anybody else before we go off? Anybody would like to see this show right before our live broadcast of the Yankees play-by-play? I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to tell you guys some good news. That
I mean,
people are already giving you the thumbs up. So,
yeah, no, I
Charles, you have
appreciate it.
anything to add?
No, I'm good. Well, let's see how many we get. How many more people come on there and say what they want? We'll do it. It's
Yeah,
all right
no,
with me.
Well, what's your
like
next show's theme? What years?
1965 or 66 to 70. What do you think, Charles? What year in the 70s should we stop?
70, 76.
76?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna cover kind of the down years between
That's
the
like
two dynasties.
what is that, 66 to 7? That's like a 10-year period. That would be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And
So,
also you I'm sure you guys will cover some bad trades. Some really bad trades and some really good trades.
Well, that's when
Even good trade.
they was the problem back then. They didn't want to spend no money, and after they got bought
yeah,
by
CBS
they,
was cheap.
CBS, they didn't want to
yeah,
spend money. Their farm system was junk, and they used to have all these bad players. Man, I got tortured when I was a kid, and the Mets were good, and I used to have to hear it. But I got my revenge, huh? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you had obviously, in 65, you had Tanning and
Yeah,
the
Dan
other
Copley,
part.
Dan Copley,
You had an
Gabe
aging
Cole.
man, getting rid of Roger Maris, and people were just getting old. But the nucleus started coming up like a year later. They brought up Bobby Mercer. Then Thurman Munson was Rookie of the Year in 1969, 1970. So there were a lot. And as you guys get into the more, because I'm like an encyclopedia when it comes to the Yankees around 73 all the way up to now. So,
Yeah, but I
you
mean,
know,
but like as we covered, you had this interesting trend where Bill Dickey, he went from catcher to player manager in 46 to um, being a coaching staff with Stengel and I mean he what oversaw like 17 World Series somewhere in there as a player and as a coach and then you obviously had Yogi who went from player to manager to
10
you know
rings
yeah 10 rings as a player and then all the
unheard
years that
of.
he's been. Yeah. Well, I mean, you
Uh,
look at it. Bill Dickey had 8 as a player from 1928 to 1946. So
mhm.
he had 8 of them as a player, right? And he went to like over 11 or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
World Series. Um, and then you had Elston Howard. He had a handful of World Series as a player himself, and then as a coach in the late 70s. The two,
Well,
so.
you're giving away a lot of your secrets for the next show. I would be
Oh no,
quiet if I were you.
we're
No, I'm
gonna
just
give
kidding.
no. We're gonna give more,
I'm
but I'm
kidding
just
with you
giving.
guys.
I know. I'm just saying is that I'm just showing you that this part of this trend that the Yankees had of
Mhm.
legends carry the torch to it because I mean it wasn't the only ones, but
No,
and
of course.
we'll kind of go back and loop it all in there. But Elston Howard was a really special player. He was a great human being. I didn't watch him live or see him coaching, obviously, but when you look back in history and you see a guy who comes up, he plays left field, he hits per average and does all the right things, and then he converts to being a catcher,
Mhm.
and he combined one of probably the best catching duo we've ever had with Yogi Berra when they both hit 20 home runs or 20 plus home runs in that 61 season. And then you've seen that they would go back and forth between catcher and left field. And that's not easy. I mean, catching
Mhm.
alone is not easy. But then you're playing left field, then you're playing catcher, and then you're having to do all this stuff. And then
Yep.
he had to be the big mediator between his buddy over there, Billy Martin
Martin, yes.
and
And
Reggie Jackson. And that was the only one person that could probably do that because remember Billy Martin, he got traded away by the Yankees in 56 because he got in a brawl at Copacabana on behalf of Elston Howard. A fan,
yep.
some guy wanted to mess with Elston Howard while they were all hanging out, and you know Billy Martin went nuts, and the Yankees kind of just to ease some of the situations, they traded him to the Kansas City Athletics.
Yep. And then of course you're going to cover George Steinbrenner, taking over the Yankees, and that speech that he
Yeah.
had at Fort Lauderdale Stadium. So there's a lot coming up, guys, and we'll let you know as soon as possible when these two historians will bring you the next installment of Yankees history. So I'm really happy you guys came on tonight, and we talked a little. You talked a little bit about everything. Remember, tomorrow night starts it all, but actually tomorrow morning with Coffee Bagels and NY Yankee Mania with Sean, and everything goes good. I will be on. Nitin might be on. Will be on. So there's a lot going on, everyone. And thank you so much for being here, guys. Final words before we go.
Yeah, thank you everybody for showing up on to enjoy the show, and let's go Yankees. Let's take down them Red Sox in this 3-game series. Let's put
Go
them.
Yankees.
Let's put them behind the 8 ball. Let's go.
Yes.
What you gonna
Let's
do
take-
when the Yankees run wild on you?
There you
Amen.
go.
Yeah, and so Yankees, don't let the struggling Red Sox, they're struggling right now, they're scuffling. Don't let them get hot against you. It's our time to take it to our division and beat them beat them, play hard, play the same way you did, manage the same way you're doing now, Boone. With you're making all the right moves, you're pushing all the right buttons, and even if it doesn't pay off, you're showing us why we should still allow you to finish the season as a Yankees manager.
Well, he's definitely going to do it no matter what.
I know that, but what I'm saying is this: let's play our game. Let's do your job as that coach.
No, you're right. You're right.
Do your job, guys. But no, I'm loving it, guys.
I feel Big G's gonna hit a couple of home runs in this series.
Oh yeah, no.
If he doesn't have if he fixes that hole in the bat,
well,
all
no.
he's been doing is striking out.
Big G and Judge seem to do really well at Fenway Park, and if either one of them or both of them, I have a gut feeling that both of them are gonna have big series.
I think it's going to be Chaz Chisholm. I think Chaz is going to explode this series.
He could too. And Ben Rice keep cooking.
Any worse. But yeah, thank you everyone. I really appreciate everybody coming here. The guys do a tremendous job. Please like and subscribe, and you will see NY Yankee Mania Coffee and Bagels at 9:30 tomorrow morning. And I really appreciate it. Sean, you want to take us out?
Yes, guys. And as Charles said it, I'm gonna go the Hulkster on it. Let me tell you, brother. Let me tell you, sister. What are you gonna do when NY Yankee Mania runs wild on you?
Woo! Love that. You're gonna have some outros, everyone, and then we have a great night. God bless you all. God bless America. Let's go Yankees. And remember, subscribe to NY Yankee Mania, and give the liking to this show to Sean and to Charles. They do a great job. Thank you, everyone.
I am Katharina Michio, and you are watching NY Mania.
I'm Kayla Welsh, and you're watching NY Yankee Mania.
Hi, my name is Maria Venuto, and you are watching New York Yankee Mania.
I'm Marnie Schneider. I'm the author of Football Freddy, and I am so excited to be part of the New York Yankee Mania show.
Hey, everybody, it's Ian Eagle. You are watching NY Yankee Mania, the best.